The modern era of Jujutsu sorcery is one where fans have seen quite a lot of talented and powerful sorcerers. Of course, the Heian was overall better in terms of the average sorcerer power levels being incredibly high, but the modern era has proven on many occasions already that the sorcerers are incredibly capable as well. The one who stood at the top of the modern era was none other than Gojo, the strongest. He was so strong that he could even match Sukuna. These two were almost at the same level of power. And although Gojo lost to Sukuna, on another day, especially if the king did not have help from the likes of Megumi and the 10 Shadows technique, Gojo could have won. Regardless, Gojo ended up losing the battle, which created the opportunity for a new, strongest modern sorcerer to rise in Jujutsu Kaisen. The death of Gojo was quite easily one of the most significant events in the entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen. The battle between Gojo and Sukuna was absolutely sensational. In fact, it wouldn't be a stretch to say that it was the very best battle that the story has delivered to the fans up until this point, and it saw some of the most exciting developments take place in the entire series. At the end of it all, one slight mistake from Gojo led to his downfall, and eventually, he was killed. Sukuna expanded the target of his domain and bypassed his infinity, thanks to help from Maharaga. Eventually, Gojo ended up losing the battle, and with it, his life as well. Following Gojo's death, a raid on Ryomen Sukuna began, which forced many sorcerers to take him on in battle, and at the same time, grow stronger in the midst of it. The one that has been affected the most by this is none other than the protagonist of the series, Yuji, who is highly likely to become the strongest modern sorcerer after the death of Gojo. Yuji and Sukuna are related, since Yuji's father was the reincarnation of Sukuna's twin brother that he consumed in his mother's womb. Essentially, Yuji and Sukuna are intrinsically linked, and the fact is that Yuji has had many experiences while Sukuna was in his body and remembers them due to muscle memory. Now, Yuji is unstoppable as a sorcerer, and he has taken his techniques one step beyond by unlocking the pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery, domain expansion. For unlocking domain expansion, it was shown that Yuji had mastered the ability to use simple domains during the time skip. This was drilled into him by Kusakabe, who is one of the strongest users of the new shadow-style techniques. Now, combining all the powers that he acquired, Yuji was able to manifest even a domain expansion. While Yuji's powers were not revealed to the fans within the domain, what is already clear is that he is unstoppable. In fact, Yuji even threatened Sukuna and told him that he has the power to kill him. Of course, this was likely not a bluff, and fans should not expect that from the protagonist of the series at the climax of the very story. If he says that he possesses the power to kill Sukuna, then he likely has it at his disposal. It will be interesting to see how Yuji takes things from here and defeats Sukuna. Don't forget to subscribe. Fact is, Yuji has a very bizarre ability that makes him a threat to almost anyone in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. This is the power to deal damage to souls. Yuji can even combine this power with his Shrine Curse technique and deal damage to Sukuna's very own soul. In fact, by hitting the space between Sukuna and Megumi's soul, he was even able to make him throw up 3 of his fingers. At this point in time, it is clear that Yuji is the strongest modern sorcerer in Jujutsu Kaisen. Sukuna admitted that if he was hit with more such blows, he would lose control over Megumi's body and be defeated. The fact is that this isn't even the pinnacle of his powers. Yuji has just started getting used to his newfound abilities. He is still a raw product. There is absolutely every possibility that Yuji can go on to surpass Sukuna in the future, as he is a force to be reckoned with already. Yuji will go on to defeat the king, and then continue to grow even further as a sorcerer. He will become the strongest sorcerer in the history. and most likely the strongest character in the entirety of JJK, once the series ends, or in the years to follow.